Hello, this is an instructional video for the Gavotte by Lully for viola. So this piece has multiple sections. You're going to notice that the main theme at the very beginning comes back on the second page in measure 34. So I'm not going to go through that twice. I'll go through it once and then you can always go back and take a look at it again if you're having difficulty. So today we will take this nice and slow. The trick here is to not go too fast that you are unable to play the eighth notes over at measure 22 because that's really challenging. So you can only go that fast. So your goal is to get those eighth notes as fast as you can so that the rest of the piece doesn't sound terrifyingly slow. So you have to make sure that you balance that. So let's go nice and slow on this today, and then I'll give you some ideas on how to break down those eighth notes. You will notice in the viola part, it shows it to you in alto clef, and then at big rehearsal 5, it does the same thing, but it's in treble clef. So it gives you a little chance to read it, but at the same time, it's actually not that difficult. It looks scarier than it is. It's still just the same thing you already played. So here we go. We're going to start at the beginning, and I'm going to set my metronome. I'm going to set it to the quarter note. So today I have it at 76, but I am going to slow it down when we get to those eighth notes for now, okay? So this is probably the slowest you're going to want to go as far as this first section because it sounds really, really slow otherwise. So here we go, very beginning. Short on the staccato quarter notes, be careful. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Talk about that before we go on. In your key signature, you do have one flat. We haven't had a B flat yet, but it will come up later. So watch out for B flat, but you do have F natural, C natural, and then surprise, you get a C sharp in there as well, so high 3 on that. The bow lifts here are not really bow lifts. They're more like a breath mark, so just take a little time there. And if you were playing with a pianist, you could take some liberties there and take a little pause if you want. I usually go mostly straight through, especially if I'm with a metronome, which I am today. So let's go on. Watch your rhythm here, very tricky. This is the end of measure 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 3 and 4. 3 and 4. Let's do that part again, but pizzicato. Here we go, same spot. Ready, and 1, 2. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 3 and 4 and a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 1. That's the trickiest part, I think. The eighth notes are obviously difficult as well, but the rhythm there is very challenging. So go through that a few times to make sure you know it. Let's do it once again with bow and we'll go on. Ready, and 1, 2. Don't feel like you have to go super fast on it, but it's going to be a 1, and then your 2 goes crazy over here, a low 2. Try that with me. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, up, down. Okay? Now, putting that with the next part, this is a tricky transition. 1, 2, 3, 4, up, down, down. Just that much, okay? Do that one more time. Ready, trill, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, up, down, down, up, down. That, if you can master master that, you'll be great, because that's a challenging part counting-wise, okay? Now, I'm going to slow the metronome down. We're going to do that one more time, and we'll keep going, okay? Notice in this next section, you have some shifting. You do have to get to third position. It's not that bad. It's just up there, and you come right back, okay? But there are some tricks to it, so let's go way slow. Okay, I have it at 50 now, so this is really a good starting point. You can start it here and then just gradually speed up as you learn these. And when I practice this, I usually try to start at measure 20 so I get that counting every time I repeat this. So we're at measure 20. Ready, now. 1, 2, slow bow, 3, 4, up, down, down, now. Shift back. Good, let's just do measure 22 now, okay? Ready, go. Shift. Slow, 3, 2, 1. So right there when you shift back, you do have to do a high 2 and a low 1. So be really careful there. Let's do that again. Ready, now. And once you get past that, it's a lot easier. So let's go on now. Measure 5 is very, very similar, okay? Let's get into that though. Let's start at 25. 25. Ready, go. It's the same thing. Don't be scared. Shift. High 2, low 1. Short, short. Shift. Shift back here. 1, 2, up, 2. And you can hang on to that forever if you want to. After that, it's a direct repeat of what you had at the beginning, so I think you can manage that. So let's do that last part again. You do shift again in 31, so use your open A to get yourself there. You have a little time. So let's do, I want to start right on measure 29. 1 and 2 and short quarter notes now. Shift here. Those 2 notes have to match. Shift back, low 2. Finish this with you so you see how the ending works. It's something you've already done, but just to make sure you've got it. So do the last line. Last line. 52. 1, 2, and ready now. One, 2, 3. If you can get a 4. It's a little better tone quality there. And you will be able to slow that down, so take your time on the trill, and then do your up bow to make sure that it's landing correctly on the and of 4. So I hope that helps. Take those 8th notes slow. That's the best thing you can do. Start yourself at 50, maybe even slower if you need to, and then just gradually work your way up. Focus in on those measures where you have shifting, because it'll pay off if you take your time with those. Thanks, and I hope that helps. Bye.